Oh, it's gone. Right, I started a bit late. I do apologise for anyone watching in the future. I do apologise for starting a wee bit late. Outside it is like autumn, so I should be doing some real twigging. But as promised, I've only got a small amount of time because I've just been doing other stuff, and as I was just doing that little song as well. So yes, I'll just do a little bit now, but I'm going to do some later as well. And I'm going to ask Lima's take on it as the other woman in this, since Cyan gave me his quite shirty response, which I saw earlier. But it's just fucking funny, right? So these guys are the guys who spend how long? Over a year? Was it over a year? I don't even know. Hang on a sec, let me see. Do apologise. Right, yes. Okay, I'm on. So, yeah, these are the same guys who, for 2 years or something, pretended to be better and made their whole thing about it, lied to me about it. Was it chameleon stuff? Was it absorption? Was it just playing a game? What were they doing? What was that? What was that to that level? That's the thing. So I'll be investigating that. I'll be playing it, I think, on the phone, and then I can look at the chat better while I play Fiber Twig, hopefully. So that's the plan. So I need to find it on here. I was going to play it on here, but then I was like, how can I play Fiber Twig and then look at the chat there? So I thought I'd be best off playing it on my phone, which is another reason why it took a little bit longer, because I had to charge my battery pack a little bit. Shout out to Volp. Now, Volp, if you are banned, come on your other account and I'll sort you out somehow. I'll make you a moderator or something. I don't know. I thought you already were. I'll not give you a big wrench, but I'll give you a wrench. Right. Evil streams again. Evil cries again. So they really didn't get it, did they? They really didn't get it. But I'm going to go into that, I think. Absolute cretins. Like, really have shown themselves to be the scum-sucking mollusks. You know what I mean? That's just blatantly, just didn't get any of it. No funnel heads there. I think it funnels away into other areas. It doesn't go into the head. It doesn't go into the head. Absolutely no funnel heading to be had at all. So, apart from a couple, there's a notable couple. But as well, I doubt any of those guys will even be hate watching here, because they'll all be over at Captain Ends, won't they? Oh, yeah. Hey bro. So I'll have a quick go on the old what the fuck? Why isn't that working? Why ain't it working? Oh, I'll do a little twig. I'll do a small twigs then. Small twigs. I do have to do it on here. It's been a while. So I went back a couple of levels because that level was a nightmare as it was. And I had my eye in, and it's been months, absolutely months. So I'm going to have a go at that, and I'm going to play a bit of this, and then I'll see if there's anyone in the chat, and then I'll see if I can juggle things about a bit. Oh, hang on, I've lost it now. Honestly, these phones are so keen as mustard at clicking off things and going onto adverts and all the rest of it. Right, okay. So I did have a click through because I was getting little samples for that song as well. So I heard tiny bits and pieces, and I heard a little bit last night while I was doing my own, putting my video up, because I really only have this amount of time, and I was doing other shit. And that's the thing. It's like, in Cyan's shirty message was just beautiful, because it's like, I live in your head 24 hours a day. And it's like, no, you just come up all the time because you're obsessed with me. And when I'm here, the bits of time when I'm here, when you're not just filling up other people's chats with things about me, when I'm doing other things, and like anything else, like unblocking my toilet yesterday, I was doing that rather than this. So, you know, whose head is who living in. But yes, when you're here, you are fascinating. You are a fascinating creature. So let's have a go at this, and let's set this going, and let's listen to this fucking Giddy Kipper, right? Bearing in mind that just before he'd done his very quiet streams, they'd both done very quiet streams. So now he stopped that and started this one, thinking that he'd got this gotcha, because he thinks it's on this like really low level. He thinks the whole thing's on this level. And that's so super surprising. I know he was drunk and everything, but evil, man. Did you really think it was all on this level? Did you really think that? Anyway, I'll refer to this in the thing, because he says like, oh, she thought she could be friends with those guys. And what does he think this is? Like, fucking hell. Right, oh shit, I got the volume up. Oh, yeah, got his singing.
Search for, what is that word? Downward bullshit moving. Now I had to do the whole hurry-derby myself. And it was, well, my retarded fucking granny didn't want to go to another store, so they had to buy that shit. And she said, you only get $15 left. I'm like, come on. Just feeder games. Cricket.
Crickets indeed.
Sorry.
Oh, I can't pause it because I have to come off this to do it.
I didn't know Dashi was going to jump. 37 minutes ago. Okay, 10 minutes. Oh my god.
Oh, because of Albert putting something up. So they really behind.
Or should we go?
How behind the times were they? How behind the times were they? Like, that happened like hours before. I'd done my whole upload, but I was just uploading it when they started it. I couldn't believe it. I was just exporting it as they started their stream, and it was just taking fucking ages. Plus, I was taking my time at my leisure, you know. I was having a bit of a leisurely time. It's my 2 days off. It's my entertainment. It's not a job. So I was just enjoying my my creative process and all the rest of it. Like I was today, I was like, I know I had this to do, but I was like, oh, I did want to finish that song. So I did, and I was looking for that bit where he goes, oh, you deserved it, you couldn't. And I couldn't find it because I couldn't be asked to listen to it without doing this. So that's how I ended up with all those other little samples and stuff on that song. Ah, it's been so long. Oh my God. Twigging up, massive. Right, I didn't listen to much of that. Hang on a minute. Oh, yeah. I fucked it, Anna. I have. I believe I fucked it there. I can't even remember what I was supposed to be, what you're supposed to go on. Is it hearts or what on this level? I can't even bloody remember. It's been a while. But you know, I never finished it, so I was just like, oh, I have got other games I want to play, and I will. I'm not going to harp on this forever. Come on now, I mean, I said I wasn't about Groundhog Day, do you know what I mean? But I never finished it. So I was like, if I'm going to do one random little short one, then I'll do this, innit? Do this for old time's sake. I still never even released that song about Q, which is my first ever AI song that I ever did. Was that one? I think. I just never released it because I never quite finished it because it was my first one. So I will put that out. Oh. But that was like pre all this Q. This is when he was still my friend and still stirring the silence cake of back then. Oh God, this is silly. Oh, there we are. Anyway, let's see what this is now.
To the nitty gritty shit. Should we get to the nitty gritty shit?
Yeah, get to the nitty gritty for fuck's sake.
Okay, guys. Okay. Let me present you the screen.
Look at him showing it, making a right big song and dance about it. He's like delecting over it.
Okay, this is it.
Thinking that he's got it.
37 minutes ago.
It's like
13 hours ago.
Let's be right about this while he's rolling out the red carpet. This is Dean, someone who he took down his channel, someone who he had me fighting for, someone who he says isn't qualified for anything, but he used me. He used me to get his fucking Discord up and running. He used me to fucking get his mates. Fucking hell. He used... No, well, that lost lot anyway, just not these lot, not the fucking... Well, I suppose he did with Captain N, because that's something else, that is. That's just... Wow, you know, the levels, honestly, Evil, I just did not have you down as just like literally no, just nothing, just there's nothing there, is there? There's just nothing. There's nothing about you, like, that's you, or like, oh my God, like, it's mind blowing. It's mind blowing. So let me just be straight, while this guy is like delecting over this thing and being like, oh, what an amazing thing, and this is history and all this. This is Dean. He's hiding behind Dean. He was hiding a few hours before on a stream, not daring to speak or say my name, right? Darius style. Going full changing table, because obviously that's their influencers these days, isn't it? That's what they do. Oh, this is annoying, isn't it? So he was doing all that, and then Dean puts this forward. The guy who he's been fighting, the guy who he's been knocking, the guy who he probably knocks in this one. I'm sure I've heard him doing it. You know, he does all that, but he's still feeding off him, and he's making this into this big show. That just shows how little stuff they've got, and how Scorned FM just needs to keep going, doesn't it? It just wants to keep going constantly. Hey up, General Noobin fan. Oh, God. I lost. This is amazing. Well, I might have done in this place, because obviously this is very low level shit. So you mean I lost because I didn't want to talk about that in that way, in that moment in time? I think the real losers are the ones jumping on something so short, so small, like small-minded, you know, and not actually looking at what's happening here, which is I'm making some sort of contact with other people. That's all there is to it, you know. I'm just opening up a conversation, and you, my friend, you, my friend, you take the cake, and just you wait, mate. Just you wait until I get all the information about your past and the last that you did this to, and how you are crawling up people's arses is unbelievable. So I'm surprised you're not streaming at the same time as me. Aren't you normally streaming exactly, trying to stand in the shadow of the person? Oh yeah, I'm doing you a video actually at the moment. I just haven't got around to it. It's just part of another one of my little Renaissance man little activities, if I want to do it every now and again. But for now, I'm playing Fiber Twig. I'm doing very badly at it, but I'm also listening to this cretin and how he is feasting. Why am I taking an L? What am I losing? You're like, I think you're just completely in error of what it is I'm doing here. I'm just watching all you guys. That's like saying to just the observer, you know, I'm just the observer. Take the L and move on. What? Because what? Give me a reason why I lost. Anything. And what have I lost? Please tell me. Tell me what I've lost here. It's actually made me go, oh, it's time. It's time, isn't it? Oh, it's time. That's all it's done. So, no, mate, you're the loser. You're the one feasting on my fucking crumbs. And when I'm not there, you were all crying. And you were in there. You were in there trying so hard. Man, and the fact that the people who I thought I knew really encourage you to be such a try-hard little bitch after what happened. And Paste as well. What the fuck's going on there? I really want to know what's going on with that. Hey, Paste, bro. Lol. Fucking lol indeed, mate. Human Evil's heart. Oh, Carla. Well, that's all right. That's nice. I'm glad he's still got a heart in there, to be honest, because it sounds like he's just a fucking cackling old fucking... I mean, no, I'm a cackling old wench or whatever, but my God, I'm at least getting something out of this. I'm not just, I mean, and as well, like Dean, it's like, it's nothing new for him to be parading and utilising other people, and especially the more traumatic, the better. And this is an old hat for him. We know he brings out the same old shit all the time. We know he hides behind his nearest and dearest. So he pulled out all the stops for this one. And I've got all my theories about that as well, but that's a story for another time, because it's really no big shakes compared to this for me. And so, what was I talking about? I can't remember now. I'm doing this. So I can't even remember. I just don't know. Sorry. I don't know. I had a spliff and I've had a beer. But yeah, my kid is actually coming home, but his dad's going to be here as well, so it's all right. I'm not in charge of bedtime tonight, but I can't necessarily be on stream. Not till later anyway, because I did have a nap, so I'll be around later. But you know, I'm sure they'll be doing something. But yeah, let's put him on. He's rolled out the red carpet for Dean now, and Dean's play. Oh yeah, so my point is that it was just, it's Dean, you know, it's just the way he goes about it. I saw it as a bit of a welcome, almost a bit of a pulling of the pigtails, because that's how he works. He always brings out the same old shit. It's his way he does things. I was waiting for it for a long time actually, and his dad to do it at Buttocks's, because I would never go to his. I'm not moving in on his territory. You think, you know, it's another Tommy sort of scenario, slightly, but like completely different and less crude. And I do feel that there was maybe an element of projection when I was throwing all that shit at Dean, because I was like right in the belly of the beast with these people, and Tommy had been at me for a while as well. So they were milking me and using me, but at the same time, Tommy was trying to lay the groundwork for getting me out. So I was navigating quite a complex place at that moment, but my viewpoint was different as well, because my head was being twisted by evil at the time as well. So my viewpoint's different now as well. And so these guys are just like, it's like bows and arrows against the lightning. Go on, Scorned FM, what can you do? What's the worst you can do? What for loss?
1 month ago, Devalo. Do we really want to do that? Or do we want to go to King of all bottles bullshit and see the Welsh dog versus the fucking silverback thing? I'm going to do this.
No need for the racism there, evil. Cheeky.
I'm going to do this.
What's it? A racist monster? Racist monster. Oh dear. Is that what you think you are? Is that what you're trying to be? Is that how you don't lose?
Wanted to join? It was Prime 1. He said,
oh, is that how you don't lose? Oh, Prime 1's getting in.
Yeah, interesting. Maybe that's what he meant.
Give your kippering up.
I'll be here in spirit.
Get a kippering up like a good one.
It's okay.
It's not okay. I just lost evil. Thanks for your concern, though. Oh, Colin Evil's heart.
Things, you know?
Well, see how long that goes for, because you're
drunk.
You're gonna have to cook to those guys the whole way through. But I'm sure you won't mind.
Well, I don't know.
It's just a bit of fun after work, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? For you, so I get it. Evil's not racist, you are. So there. Yeah, I mean, bring up all my racism then. I'd love you to show me where I'm a racist.
They always wanna join me out. No, we're just gonna watch bullshit.
Oh, and by the way, let's just mention, these guys are so starved of attention. This has nothing to do with them. So can we just say that I wasn't really interacting with these guys. I was just commenting on them occasionally. There was only a bit that I was giving away to them. I was busy and I was taking my time getting started as well. Then on top of that, I'm there going over to Buttocks, because I was like keeping it quite small. Do you know what I mean? I was like, Red Bull wasn't on anymore, but if he was around, I'd have gone to his. I'd go to Vic's or something. I might pop in the chat at Mike's or something occasionally. And I'd go to Buttocks's and I'd be in the chat sometimes at Albert's when he was doing random, because he'd do it at random times, which might just catch me. Or I'd be occasionally at Lewis's if I could catch him. So that was kind of my rounds, you know. And it was as and when, and it might be like 2 weeks between each one and all the rest of it. So what they're saying here, I can't even remember. Again, it's the fucking concussion. I can't. You know, I'm not losing anything because I just can't remember anything. But yeah, that's kind of what I was doing. So what what have I lost? What am I in with? What have I... You know, I've only just started redoing it. All I can see is we've got a load of fucking ninnies who, oh yeah, so my point is that I wasn't really paying that much attention to their drama. I wasn't feeding them beyond just laughing at them. And they didn't like that. And so they ended up running away, taking the victim, playing the victim card. We saw the whole show. We saw what happens when you stand up and say something to them. And then as soon as Dean comes in and plays some like little sort of par for the course, this is what you're going to get hanging around at Buttocks's, then look at this. Look at the red carpet and the big da 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 from Evil. It's like, oh man, who's pulling the strings now? You know what I mean? Like Dean, you're getting Dean to pull the strings for you now. Sad bastards, you hid away until Dean came and paved the way for you after all that. That's my takeaway from this. That and Captain Ed kissing up to Paste after the actual crying. You're good. I heard that you were saying that I doxed people's private messages, which I never did. Well, I say I never did. There was a time with Carla after Carl had done his thing, and he'd said he was going to release everything about something I'd said about Carla. So I was like, oh, Carla, this is all I've said to Carl. And I did a print screen of what I'd said to Carl. And in that morning, I remember that. But then that's it. I have a policy. You can ask Captain N. I've got a policy of it. But he's very lucky that I do. And if he carries on, maybe that policy might be a little bit shaky. You never know. Especially with some of the lies that he's been saying, and he's getting on his high horse a bit. And it wouldn't take very much just to knock him back from that high horse, considering some of the things he's bringing into the conversation, which are just completely out there, which are like coming from purely from his projection. But we'll see anyway. I haven't got the fucking chat on this. I can't believe it. Why am I being such an idiot? Right. Go on then. Oh yeah, Judge Judy Cyan's response. You can take your CPE Carl VIP invitation and twig on off. How does it feel that I made you think of me 24/7?
I love that.
I think you can reflect that one back on yourself, mate. But you are interesting to me, and it's a shame you don't want to talk about it because you obviously need the attention. I think you'd enjoy it. I think you'd do well with it.
Fucking Gigafall Botox made a 7 hour.
Oh, he's just make it about himself, chinning on.
How can you
here we are. Yeah, so.
This is your tequila stream. Ask me anything. Okay, you really want?
Sorry for this, but he's just like annoying me with all his stuff.
It's 4:49. I think.
Let's wait until it actually starts.
I know that right. Gigafall Botox, you get the fucking thing. It's like Louis. You will never escape his fucking name.
I know. That's it.
Like a 7 hour. A 7 hour stream, but we have other one. But we have six fucking people. 4:49.
Not bothered about the numbers or anything like that. You know, it's just again. So, oh yeah, I never got to my end of my thing, which is they weren't involved in this. I was doing my rounds, going around this. I wasn't going in on them. I was just occasionally going on their streams. I was hearing stuff in the grapevine. I was downloading them for future reference. That is it. I've got time on my hands, time on my side. I haven't got time on my hands right now. I'm busy, but I've got time on my side. I can do this whenever. This is timeless, ageless. In fact, it'll only age better as it has done, and it does. So carry on. You know what I mean? It's fine. You just that big of creeps. You really are just that much that I will point to you on the internet and make you into the jewel of the crown of creeps, the big boys leagues of the creepiest, most using, most disgusting. I mean, like I say, from Dean, I expected it. This is like tried and tested. You pretended for years that you weren't like that, kissing ass and pretending that you weren't like as bad as Dean, and then like and so much better than him, and that was your whole shtick. And now look at you feasting on his leftovers when nobody asked you to be part of this conversation at all. You guys are that desperate that you're ambulance chasing Dean TV and Albert Menendez. Just think about that one for a second. The great Q Yumiko. My word. My word indeed. Let's have a go. Let's see what he's got to say. Right, let's turn it on to normal now. Now, what I'm going to do with this is I do want to address the Angela side of this, obviously, and I have done in my upload a bit. And I suppose I'll probably will do, but I kind of want to really focus on their responses to this and how they've been, because I know what these guys are like. And that bit where Evil's like, oh, I can predict what CPE is going to do, when I know for a fact what Evil's like, and I know for a fact that was about 20 minutes, half an hour after I'd put my upload up. So come on, mate, just make it real and be like, oh, look, CPE's put an upload up. Oh, look, she's done this. Do you know what I mean? Why do that? Why be a little fanny? Because it's just obvious that that's what you're doing. Hey up, Red Bull! Oh, nice to see you, mate. Oh, I've missed you. I have missed you, mate. I have. Right. So let's have some twigging off. Oh, mate, did you see the giddy kippering was just like the league of giddy kippering gentlemen last night. I mean, I can't see Paste from his because he blocked me ages ago. And it's like the reason they got me out of the Discord, their thing that they said was because I was giving Paste shit because of Captain N. You know, you just can't write it. You just can't write it. Yeah, they're trying to say that I've lost, but I'm like, what have I lost? What have I lost here? What did I have to lose? In that sense, but I had everything to gain. If you watch that Sam Vaknin, it was fucking awesome. Don't ask what you've got to lose, ask what you've got to gain. And mine's just like watching these guys. They're right in front of me doing this shit. Look at this idiot. General Nubin fan. Absolutely obsessed. And I do think we could do better with it. I do think if Angela did, we don't have to do it every week. We could do it once a month, but it'd be funny. It would be funny. She could save up all the bees in the bonnet and go at me, but just like, can we just choose a time when I can actually do it? Yeah. Right. Anyway, let's go. Oh shit! Sorry.
Yes.
Oh no! Don't miss this bit. Yes, so we got. Oh god, it's doing it again, Seth.
Setup, you know, the whole Nintendo setup, but the price were like
whatever's left of it. Of my heart. Oh.
To another store, so we had to buy
No,
shit.
well, my heart has been bigger than ever now. It really is. It's just that extra understanding just helps. I'm not as bad. I'm not in the state of these guys, mate. I'm just doing this for fun. Look at the state of these. They say it's fun, but look at the desperateness of it. The reason why I'm sort of having to pounce on it now is because I've got time restrictions. I've only got a couple of hours before my kid gets home, and then on top of it, I do know that they're just going to use. I need to comment on this because they're just going to build their house on these foundations, and I need to at least make my comment on that before they start doing that. There's that, but that doesn't take much. It's just a little bit of a.
I was just hoping.
I think. Plus, I've already arranged with Lima to do a Mount Narcissus stream later, and she's got a cool video.
Maybe that's what he meant. I'll be here in spirit.
She's got a cool video to watch regarding the Mount Narcissus, and it's about stepping over people. It's about stepping over people who are dying, who are vulnerable, to get to where you need to be, and how psychopathic you need to be to get to the top, and all that thing. We've discussed it many times, but there's a new take on it. Lima says she's got a new take on that, so we were going to talk about that, and I do think it ties in a sort of sermon-like way to what's going on here. Do you know what I mean? At what point do you step over someone who's hurting to get up there? So here, it's just I get bored of him with his bullshit. Right, let's have a go. Lockjaw. What does that mean? Lockjaw CP. What does that even mean?
It's 449, right? King.
Oh,
I love that even if you write King of all buttons, you get the fucking name. It's like Luis. He will never escape his fucking name.
Talk the hand like off a donkey, and that's saying something coming from me.
Fucking King of all buttons made us 7 hours. and 7 hours.
What does that even mean, Lockjaw CPE, Carla?
Because we have six fucking people.
Him and his numbers, Red Bull. Him and his numbers. And I never twigged it. I never did. And it stands out now. It really does. He was obsessed with them. Obsessed.
Early mornings. But I'll see you later for ghosts.
Oh yeah, we're still going to do those ghost buttocks. We were supposed to do that. Was it last night?
Don't spook you, my woman.
Yeah, I'll do some ghostly things. Wednesday, that's for me.
He really has a parting shot towards you. She says, I think CBE is...
That's the point as well. If you've got such a problem, then what was you? Why aren't you having a word with D Reed with his? You know, I mean, it's all out of proportion and weird. You know, and it just shows from Evil and Ricardo's position. It shows a level of desperation.
I wanted to know.
Oh, good Lord. I'm not very good. I'm not doing very well, guys. I'm getting distracted. The days of me being able to twig and talk are over, I swear.
Okay, here comes the dick trick.
This is a moment of truth.
Moment of truth from the evil. He's put so much investment into this. Oh, Scorned FM special delivery.
Oh yeah.
Because Dean had a go. Dean had a try at something, and it's like not like I haven't been sat there waiting for it.
CP, how can you as a woman support a rapist?
Oh my God.
See, how loaded is that?
There we go. Okay.
How loaded is that?
The time when the cookie crumbles.
And it's just like, how cheap a use of that to just walk in and say that when I have never, ever, ever supported him. There's no discrepancy there. I've never said I've supported that side of things. All I have ever said is I won't take anything from Dean. I will not dance to his tune, and I won't do this dance. That is all I've ever said. And now she's making that into that. Now that is so cheap. But on top of it, you've got Evil and Ricardo playing along with it. What does that say? That is an Evil making. Oh, the moment of truth. Oh, Dean's amazing play. You know, Evil, man, you've lost yourself. What are you all about? What is your big boy leagues? What is your big boy leagues then? What is that? What is that? You just and again, I know I'm repeating myself, but you were hiding until Dean came and you hid behind him. And after all that and all taking the piss out of Dean for doing that shit, and now you're doing this poor man's Dean TV bullshit. Oh, who'd have thought it?
I think it's here, folks. Go ahead. Lewis left.
CP, how can you as a woman support a rapist?
Oh my God. Hello, by the way. Finally get to talk to you. Sorry, I don't mean to go, oh my God. But
yeah, what a thing to start it with, though, my God.
Right.
At like 10 to 7 in the morning.
Conversation, and I should just respond with yes or no. You know, yes, no. I don't know where that thing comes from, but I see Ricardo and Doshin, they do that shit all the time. So, yeah, man, it's like, what the hell?
Yes or no? No, I don't support. No, but the thing is, though, I've said it a million times, is no, I don't support someone being assaulted, but I will not take anything off Dean. Like, you are taking it. You're dancing to Dean's tune. Dean's pulling your strings. And now I'm dancing away because I'm fucking watching it because I've got my interest looking at you cretins and your reaction. But I just can't try and get it home enough what this says about you guys on so many levels. There's so many nuances to me anyway, seeing you, Evil, seeing you perform like this. The weaving, and I know what you're doing. I can see it. You know, I can see it. I can see everything you're doing here.
Right? Very, very clear. Let's watch it again. Nothing aggressive.
How can you? What am I supposed to say? Yes or no to for a start? How can I, as a woman, support a rapist? See, let's remember. Oh fuck! I've lost it. Fuck my phone, man. Oh, it'll probably let me get back to it. No, it won't. But Oh, I've lost my train of thought now. My phone just fucking
Read
flipped
over
onto a
here,
different thing. Okay, we're here.
Is
Dude,
trying
right, should go with
build
this.
drama, but that doesn't take away from the fact that she was horribly treated by a piece of
But that
shit.
doesn't mean that I support a rapist. But that doesn't mean that I support
Exactly.
a rapist. That means I'm staying out of your cheap ass, dancing around in other people's shit.
That's all there is to
No,
say.
no, you cannot dance around a guy who was like.
You're dancing around in
like,
it. No, you're dancing around in it.
Just say, I'm not gonna tell her what to do to fix
When
it,
have you?
Because she.
The guy who was calling Candice a fucking bitch for a long time over this, over someone being sending sexually harassing content to her, i.e. dick pics. But this is someone who has just shown like, oh, you deserve it, you cunt, and all this. So he doesn't give a shit. Absolutely does not give a shit about people in this. He said he's the big boy leagues. So we were outside of reality here. We're outside of reality where literally nothing is sacred. And someone's actual essay that's gone on in their life is something for him to dance around in. So he's now telling me that I should have said yes or no to someone who said, how can I, as a woman, support someone who's raped? Now, there's a big problem there in that what she's trying to do there is, as I've said in my upload, get me into some sort of figurehead position for Dean. So they have put all their expectations on me, which I've spent all this time forging my own space and my own opinions that come from me to do this. And then you're going to get Dean jumping on the back and saying, oh, yes, CP's got to say this and got to do this and got to say that because she's a woman. She's got to do it right now when I click my fingers. Fuck off, Evil. Just because you're an old fannying woman and you're going to dance when Dean clicks his fingers doesn't mean I'm going to. But it also doesn't mean that I support essay on people. I also don't support the cheap dragging of it in public for people's cheap fucking entertainment and your personal satisfaction, which is very disappointing because I thought I just had a completely different opinion of you. I'm using the woman card. Exactly. So this is where you've got me. Oh, she's a witch. She's made of wood. Let's chuck her in the river or set her on fire. You know what I mean? Which one am I supposed to do? She's just done that. I'm using the woman card. Okay. So as a woman supporting or otherwise someone having an essay, why is it on me to go in to talk about something which is months and months old, which is fair enough if that's something Angela feels very strongly about, but as well, why is, we all know why it was just this ambush at the end of the stream. If she wants to talk about it properly and sensitively, then we can. And so, yes, when she brings out the woman card, I turn around and say to her, okay, then you're the other woman, the only other woman. So why don't we actually do this properly then? And I'm not saying for me to come onto my channel and me to control it or anything. We could do it on her channel, but I'm not having Dean controlling it. That's the one thing I will stipulate. It's just not about that. It's just really not about that. And later on there will be, I will hopefully be having a chat with Lima about it because she's already offered her counselling to the lady in question. You're dragging me into it purely on the basis of being a woman, and now you're trying this on me. It's very low level. It's very low level. So.
Serves this. We all called it out a month or 2 months ago. Like, they're gonna say, like, fuck you, because Dean seems, in Dean's head, taking me away from the Herbies, even though we were.
Oh yeah, pop psychology. Oh, how long's it taken you? What date are we on? What are we on? Fucking September, mate. September for you to come up with this. Let's just be honest. Let's just say about this. Now, Red Bull, if you're still around, you know what I'm talking about. This is how long it's took this motherfucker to come up with this one about Dean and where his head's at and all this shit. Fucking hell. Mate, you're like 18 months out or something.
Okay, that account on Discord.
Fucking hell.
We cannot stand any more of that nagging, man.
Nagging.
Do you know what's gonna happen? I want to tell you a little story.
I went in and called them all hypocrites.
You know what's gonna happen? CP, okay.
And what happened was when they're saying about the nagging, right? That was because they couldn't stand. Like, first off, it was like Pace was in there proper working his charms, which we've seen this really slimy behaviour from all of them now. It's not actually that special now because it used to not be like that. It didn't used to be that slimy and that fucking sycophantic in there at all, not overtly. And so I was taking the piss, righteously taking the piss out of that. And I always thought this place was like for roasting people and stuff. And it was like, oh, I can't wait, Emily, and all that stuff. I was just taking the piss. And also, Pace had always been like this ambiguously, sometimes all right, sometimes not. People thought he was a bit of a fucking fool and whatnot. He'd just come back over from the PSG. He was just a bit of a laissez-faire, in and out sort of person. There wasn't that much loyalty to it. But then, when they wanted to use the fucking Captain N thing and have a go at me because of that, and then Captain N had got me fighting his battle for him as well, and like proper like riling me up with these. Well, it wasn't riling me up, but he was telling me all these stories and stuff. And so then when Pace was coming in and like really going in on him with that, and also being a sycophant at the same time, I was like, well, this is the perfect opportunity to point out this guy's a fucking dickhead coming in to try and get everyone to fight his battles for him. And I do think that I should have heeded his warning a little bit more than I did, but I did heed his warning a bit. But that's what they're calling the nagging, was me just going on and on at Pace. And I was like a dog with a bone at Pace. I was. Because it was funny, and he was being such a fucking pussy. And then he was like, I'm going to block you, CPA. And I just was like, this is really funny, thinking all these guys were trolls. You know what I mean? Thinking it was all like above board and whatever. The next thing I know, they've banned me because they don't want me fucking saying anything bad to Pace. Next thing I know, they're all kissing fucking Captain N's ass, and he's up there going, CPE turned me against all you lot. And you're like, you are joking. His opening gambit was, Evil and Tommy have betrayed me and I'm so sad. And that was all it took. And I just asked him and said, why are you bringing that into it when no one ever betrayed you or was even that big friends with you, and now you're doing this and pulling this one on me, when obviously they've just turned around and just done this to me right now. Like this literally happening right now on a stream, and this right at the beginning of that, and he was trying to milk it. Very talented Mr. Ripley, very much so, just there like standing in your shadow. And I was just like with the streaming at the same time as everyone and all the rest of it and all the crazy creepy shit. And I just called him out and just was like, as nice as anything, just like, what's that? That's a bit weird. That sets up a bit of a red flag with me. Why have you said that? That was enough. That was enough for him. That was me turning those guys against him or whatever. No, he tried everything he could. He tried literally everything he could, including like just a lot, being just so pathetic and just being like, I can't live without you, and I've lost you, and I'm such a fool, and so much. Just every little scheme that he could, and now you see him doing every little scheme that he can now. So that's funny to me. That's funny because he's not very refined with it. I think he's too emotional. He lets his emotions drive his situation, and it's quite bizarre.
Like Julia, Ron, Mike, me, spent a year and a half treating her like a princess, hearing her bullshit.
Treat me like a princess? You mean like just talking to me like a normal person?
And she's saying, no, it's mine.
What?
It's me, what I think. It's because I'm a woman. A year and a half.
Just the rewrite on this is unbelievable. This guy, after the crunch that time, admitted, I don't know if he admitted it on the crunch, oh yeah, fucking can't. See how they are, but that's what you expect it, don't you? Here, you expect it. But yeah, he was one saying, the reason I went on and said you're all fucking hypocrites and I kicked off in the first place was because of the mishandling for his own personal reasons of the Albert thing when Albert came in and called me a dog. That's all it was. And at that time, my head was wrapped up with a fucking evil shit, and he was saying. Everyone was fighting his battles for him and doing this, that, and the other for him. And so then when he just changed all the goalposts, it changed everything. And all I did was question him for it. And I just kicked off and was like, you fucking hypocrites. It was a bit tongue-in-cheek as well. It was just so surprising. It just shows they were all primed and ready to go because they just went off on it. And again, like this, you can tell it's tongue-in-cheek. And that's kind of why I don't really want to go there, because it's a bit cheap, bit of a cheap framework for something so deep. That's basically it, right? So that's what, and I was kind of tongue-in-cheek in this because it's like where we're at, and we're in the fucking dojo, and we're in the Discord, and it's like meant to be a bit of an arena, and the Captain N thing was kind of funny. It was just like, what the fuck? All of a sudden, they just went really serious really quickly, and they were just, and now it's like this rewrite where they've been like fucking shouldering me for a year and a half. Where you're just like, I thought we were all friends, like we were just getting on and doing shit, interacting. Do you know what I mean? And a year and a half of putting up with shit. Why would you do that? And also, I would also say, which is something that I've thought of before and not said anything, but like, how likely is it that all of a sudden Evil's remembering all this other information that didn't come out before, and then all of a sudden there's just all this breadth of information and anecdotes and everything, the things that have happened. You're like, oh right, all of a sudden this has come up. Not from the beginning. No, we never had anything from the beginning. And it was just very basic. And now as they've built it over time, we've got some more story. But it doesn't work like that. The story comes out first and then you go into it later on. But you've never had anything. I've always come back and said, oh, this is why this happened. And this is when this happened. And you said this. But I've not had any of that. This is all coming up very, very slowly, woven around all these empty accusations, attacks, and sort of things about me being a monster. Yo, what have you been saying? What have you been saying then, Doshin? What have you been saying? Because, like, I think I heard him saying something. Were you the one who brought it to their attention, all this stuff? So that's interesting. That's what I mean about the ebb and flow with the weather and everything with you. But to tell you what, I'm no good at this fiber twigs, but I'm going to have to go fairly soon, so let's stick it back on again for a minute.
Of us using hundreds of hours of our life.
Yeah, hundreds of hours of your lives. Why would you do that? Why wouldn't you just...
She always wanted to be with those guys. And you know what's going to happen?
And look at that. She always wanted to be with those guys. So what is it, Evil? I was obsessed with a war with those guys, or I always wanted to be with those guys. You were showing your jealousy because I just wanted to interact. It's the most bizarre thing. And it really did come from, like, when I started wanting to interact with Lewis. The whole thing, that's when he started being weird about the Albert stuff. And he was like, oh, well, if you're going to make friends, I'm going to make friends, but do it in this like really sort of aggressive way where he's encouraging Albert to call me a dog all out of the blue in front of everybody. Everything was fine. And that's another thing. It's like all of a sudden, like now he's remembering that all of a sudden he had this massive snap where he couldn't handle talking to me for hours and hours and hours all of a sudden. It's just crazy. Like when they told me off about calling them a hypocrite, I listened. I listened to what Tommy had to say. I took it on what they had to say a bit, but I still thought that it seemed a little bit cherry picking. But you know, I had my opinion, they had theirs, and that was all it was. That's literally all I saw it as. I was like, seriously believed them that they weren't just total fucking using pieces of shit, absolute pieces of shit, which is what he's saying was like, oh, she's not qualified and we're the big boys. He's just saying like, we are absolute pieces of shit. But, and that's fair, like obviously fucking Dean and Albert and all them, like they all work on that premise, but you pretended that you weren't for years, deep undercover. What the fuck? That's so much worse, mate. That's so much worse. What else are you fucking hiding from yourself? You know what I mean? What else can't you admit in life? Oh, I'm sure he doesn't. Oh, I'm sure he doesn't. Well, that's the thing. He doesn't like anyone interacting. Very similar to the Dean thing. Like I said, it was projection, I think, a bit of it, what I was saying with the Dean shit. Although I'm not saying it's not there. But we know that. Dean's tried and tested. We know his schemes. This is not what you would expect this, wouldn't you? They're acting like it's his big massive surprise as well. I heard that later on, like, oh, I told her, I warned her. No, he didn't. I was the one who warned him, actually. If you look back, fucking a year ago, Ricardo, there's a fucking one where I warned you. So maybe this is harking back to what actually pissed him off, was me calling that out. Could be for him to actually use that terminology. Could be, might not be. I'm not going to waste much time with thinking about that.
And a half, and then they're gonna fucking treat her like shit. I have the screenshot of Luis Perea.
Like they were ever not treating me like shit.
3-minute debate. He's saying like, oh my god,
Like they were not treating me like shit. Like this place is what it
Angela
is. Creep's gonna creep.
The first one
This
was
is Dean we're
the second
talking
one was
about.
CP. She doesn't
What the
wanna
fuck
believe
do they
that.
think
She
this
thinks it's
is?
lies. I can show it.
They just
right.
this is their hopes and dreams, isn't it? They just hope amongst hope that I'm so destroyed by the fact that Dean Shock Horror has acted like a dick. Oh, in a way that he's done before. Oh no, and he's hiding behind his nearest and dearest like he has before. Oh dear. Oh no, I didn't see that one coming. Good lord. What else? If I didn't want to knock around with people who did shit like this, I wouldn't be here, would I? I'd be in happy clappy happy YouTube land, which is where you fucking idiots were headed. Where you fucking sad bastards were headed, weren't it? Up the fucking sub for sub community. Hey, that's where you guys were fucking headed with your bannings and your safe space and your fucking little sycophants kissing your ass and Captain Ed. Oh dear me. So that's where you were going. Weetabix, I've heard that fibre is a lie, someone was telling me recently. And I disagree because I think that, because they were trying to tell me about the ketone diet. And I was just like, but you need some fibre. You need some fibre, don't you? Surely. You need something. And she was like, no, it's fine. You know, you don't need it. It's just a joke. It's just stuff that your body doesn't digest. And I'm like, yeah, but surely your body does need, for its system, a little bit of something that it doesn't digest so that it pushes it through, because like we're all supposed to die at 38 or something in the wild, so surely that bit of gut has been going a longer time, which means in the crevices there's going to be more shit, so therefore you're going to need a bit of it every now and again, maybe not as much as they give us like the tartar sauce or whatever, but you know, like a little bit. And she's just like, no, swearing down. I just don't think it's like that. So is this you? Is this really you, Carla? Is this really you? I don't know. I wonder. Who is that? Who is that? Who do we say? Who do we say that is? Right, anyway. I'm not getting very far with this.
I can show it right now how Luis Perea, 2 minutes after this encounter, say like, fuck it. Yeah, that fucking bitch.
Look, I'm taking it seriously.
Was destroyed.
Oh, destroyed. Oh, I was destroyed. Oh my god, I was destroyed.
Fucking riot. They just took a little longer. But now she's alone because
I'm alone.
we're gonna see a video of Albert saying,
I wasn't alone before. No, mate, you tried to make me alone. This is me not being. Oh, he wishes. He wishes I was alone. No, that's called interaction. That's called a conversation. That's called a conversation in the troll pit. You little pussy fanny. And look at him. He used to say that Volp was like the fucking British press and all that. And he's like, stop press! Luis Perea said something about CPE. Oh, and he's like proper rolling out the red carpet. Do. Like, oh my God, talk about a slow news day, evil. You've got nothing else. You've got nothing else to bring to the table, have you? This is what you're proving by this. Desperation. It's just fucking hilarious, mate. What a fruit to pick. What a fruit to pick. One sec, because I wouldn't mind getting off this particular bit of screen before I move on to the next bit. Come on, it's been so long. It's been so long. And obviously I can't do the two. I can't do them both. I can't do it. Not yet. I'll get back into it. It won't take long. Whoop. Alright. Why ain't that working? Oh, bollocks. I need some of that goodness, that yellow fucking... Oh, I've got a heart. Yes, I've got a heart. So this is the sort of place where you get hearts. Okay. I won't be a sec, chaps. Food is on your mind. Food is on my mind. Food is on my mind. It's tea time soon. God damn it. So yes, when I come back, I will be talking about it with Lima a bit, which means we'll be talking about the actual issue a bit, rather than just those guys' stupid fucking responses. Although we will be covering that a little bit, because it is Mount Narcissist after all, and these guys are acting like fucking bell ends. Scorned FM, bell ends all the time. And so there's that. But as I said in my upload, it's like, I could have gone in on this and like gone in and been like, oh, stood my ground, and I am going to a bit, defending the honour of this lady because she's been exploited. And I've done this in the past already, and it's like, again, that's a bit Groundhog Day, and again this time she hasn't asked to be involved in this turnaround, in this leg of the events, and not for this cheap reason, and just because they had a drink or whatever and decided to have a bit of fun that night. It's just not, but just as a sort, I'm not going to fucking, it's not a deal breaker. I'm not going to like not talk to fucking Angela over it. Like, it's just that if we're going to talk about that, I do think it's going to be framed better and give it a little bit more respect if you want to do it. And if not, if you still want to talk about stuff and still bullshit and chuck things backwards and forwards, then we should. Absolutely should. And that's the thing, is whether Dean will allow that or not. That's the thing. Will Dean allow it? And that's not me just trying to get in or having a go or anything. It's just like, come on, Dean. It's got to that point now. We've all been hanging around together a bit more. We've done the norming, storming, reforming, disbanding, performing. This is the performing stage. So let's not keep things under a bushel. I think Angela's more than capable of holding her own in a discussion with me. And I've got no interest in like gotchaism or destroying her in any way. I actually just want to hear her opinions on things. We can discuss things. She can take the piss if she wants. We can take the piss. You can give her little bits of information. You can give her stuff to take to the stream rather than sitting there breathing down her neck. Do you know what I mean? I don't fancy that too much because I'm just not there as your performing monkey like they are. Like fucking Evil is. Evil's fucking DTV's performing monkey with the fucking red carpet.
Okay? Fucking broken DNA, motherfucker. Yeah, that's all just you. Because they were doing this to you. We warned you, but you are so retarded.
Warned me. Warned me about what? When did you warn me?
Zero. Zilch. I digress.
Oh, what am I supposed to be getting? What was I promised?
Which is actually, it's just below.
What am I getting? What was I supposed to get, Dorshin?
So it sounds like deflection.
Oh.
It sounds like deflection because
deflection. Well, yeah, because I've told him. It doesn't sound like deflection. It's me saying I don't want to talk about that.
This is how disgusting you had to be to fucking be with Cody Bell. Just do what Luis Ferreira tells.
What is he saying that's the truth?
Ricardo,
what is he saying that's the truth here?
Myself,
really?
This is it. If you are
just a load of shit.
Just do what Luis say. And
now he's gone to slagging off. Slagging off Angela.
Minecraft. But she's right. That's deflection.
Well, yeah. I'm openly saying I'm not talking about that specific thing, as I've said before. But I'm happy to speak. Like I started it by saying, nice to speak to you, finally. Just a bit like, oh, fucking hell, does it have to be this same old shit about someone who's not even here to fucking defend themselves? And I'm not talking about him or her, either of them. It's just going in on someone else's fucking shit. What the fuck? What is wrong with you people? Surely, how many times do I have to explain this? It's pretty obvious. It's just my line. Let's do something else. But this motherfucker here, how sad. And then on top of it, feeding on him, you've got Captain N. It's even more so. So probably I can do about 5 more minutes, sadly. And that means I've gone, if I can try and get to half an hour on this stream, and then we can do the rest later. British cunt, what the fuck?
You're actually sad to say this, though, to dance around in this and still bring it up all the time. And this is the first time we've had a conversation. It's the first thing you bring up.
British
why
cunt,
is she not allowed to make you a very polite conversation? Do you want me to bring it up to the beginning, CB?
It's very clear, Evil, that it's not about a polite conversation there. It's about someone for entertainment, just like yourself, talking about someone who's actually been traumatized, and you're supposed to be a therapist. You're supposed to have done counselling. There's no words. There are no words. Mate, there might be a leafleting campaign going off around your work soon enough. If you're not careful, there's plenty of evidence here for this therapist acting very, very strangely for a therapist. Trying to drag vulnerable people through the fucking mill, and when I'm not doing it, when I'm saying, yeah, we'll have the trolling, we'll have the conversation, we'll do everything, but just let's just leave this out of it. Is that such a fucking crime, therapist? You disgusting piece of shit.
She just asked you the nicest question ever. Okay.
The nicest question ever. The nicest question ever. Now, if that was the person who it had happened to, the nicest question ever. That's how he sees it. Because she framed it in that way. Because she put that voice on it. That's how he sees it. I pity the fool who has him as a therapist, I swear to God.
How is that you can't have
It's
Jesus, can you imagine him in the bar afterwards just fucking... Well, you know...
Let's find the moment. Let's find the first question. Let's find the first question, man.
Look at him acting all incredulous.
What was the first question, man?
Oh, God.
They were
Because
taking
it's
the
high
piss out of me,
level.
so I was saying that this
High
was
level
council,
shit
work
here.
council, and like,
Just because you don't like me being here.
Another man, so very. If Lewis,
haven't they've got the
fact,
I'm proud of that.
Right, well, while he's
I'll find
talking
it.
about...
all of it.
Depends on.
Right, that's me done.
I think it's someone who's gay.
Unfortunately, I have to go now. But I'm at 25 minutes. So you're lucky, me too, but you don't have to listen to the truth anymore. You don't have to listen to the fact that you guys are just the most pathetic little cretins that are just scurrying around. And it's just sad to see. And this isn't what this place used to be. Like, even in the Darius days and the fucking and all that shit, it was never like this. Yeah, he went a bit crazy with fucking Raya. He went a bit crazy with OEB Pete, but compare that to this. And now, and it's not like this is fresh off the fucking presses either. It's not even like I've been up or Hyatt's been around that I know anything about. It's not even like I've been around that much. I've only just come back, and it's like they've been waiting to try and knock me back with this one. But I can deal with Dean, and I can have a interaction with them over it, which is like, it's kind of like how things go down over there. In case you didn't know. So all of this show and stuff coming from evil is just pure disgustingness, pure just try on the make off this. Just proud as anything. So that's just it. Actually, fucking hell. I'm gonna go and put some salt, rub myself down with some salt after that. But I'll be back. I will be back later for some Mount Narcissist stuff with Lima, and obviously the invitation is there for Angela if she wants to come on. Also, Albert, if you've got a problem, you can come on and talk to me and Lima about it if you want, or just talk to me if you don't want to talk to Lima. If anyone's got a problem with it, you're welcome to come on. There's a couple of exceptions. But really, other than that, anyone's welcome to come on and have a chat about this. But not specifically about this subject. I've already stated, you already all know that I don't support him. I've said it before many times. When I came back, I was talking to Buttocks about it and talking to Lewis about it. And all I said was, I don't have anything to do with him since he went back to Lewis and Dean that day. And then they were bored of it and they carried on talking about something else because we had a flow of conversation. And that's what Dean didn't like. He doesn't like the flow of conversation. Don't like people having a chat. So he has to bring it back to him. And I knew he'd have to bring it back to him. I knew he was struggling because the attention wasn't fully on him anymore, and it was like everyone was having a chat and milling around and mingling, so I could see it happening, and it was just interesting to see how we did it. And to be honest, Dean, it's like you had tied behind Angela, but fair enough. I knew you had to do something. Yeah, till next time, Doshin. Thank you for coming, Carla, pre-Ron Carla, and thank you for coming, Doshin, and me tuber with your high level shit. And of course, General Nubin, Captain N, I'm sure you'll be streaming right now anyway, but I'm doing a video for you. I'm just taking my time because, like I say, this is my entertainment, and I don't know what you think I've lost. What have I lost? I don't know. Lovely to see you, Red Bull. Really lovely to see you. And I'll see you all later. Bye.